So the past is something that is actually occurring now. There's not an objective thing called the past. There's this present experiencing occurring. And if that present experiencing is problematic, then it indicates that there's something that you want to know, something that you want to learn, some intention that you have that you don't yet have certainty that you know how to do that. And what I've proposed is that you actually have the ability to connect things up for yourself so that you know how to do it. All that's required is that you go through this simple exercise. So you just ask yourself, what was my positive intention? And then ask yourself, what inner resources, had I accessed them, would have allowed me to have achieved that positive intention? And then you just add those in to the way that you imagine it until you know that that's all that's needed. You'll actually perceive the whole thing differently. You will not be troubled by it any longer because you'll know that you know how to achieve success in that situation. Now, notice what this also does to your relationship with the future. So, if you had no past, you would have no future because actually the future is just a projection based on the past. If you didn't know anything about the future, I mean the past, you didn't have, if there was no such thing as the past for you at all, then you couldn't have a future. The future couldn't exist because the future is only a projection based on the past. So when you have so-called past memories that are troublesome for you, because as I've suggested, it's really where you have a sense that you have not yet learned something that's of importance to you. That will necessarily result in you projecting problems into the future because you're telling yourself effectively, well, there are things that happen in life that I don't know how to deal with, and I have undesired outcomes as a result. Therefore, I will likely encounter those kinds of things in the future, and I will fail because I have not yet figured it out. So then you will feel anxious about the future. When you change the past, you change the future. You relieve yourself of the anxiety about the future because you help yourself to know that you know what you need to know in order to achieve success. So it's a very simple, yet extraordinarily useful, effective, and powerful way in which you can change your life. So it's actually in this exploration today is enough that if you take this to heart and you apply it consistently, you can completely transform your life in a positive way. Most people will not. Most people will. Most people will say, "Oh, it didn't work for me," or "couldn't be that simple," or any number of other things, and so they won't get the benefits. However, as I've said, this genuinely is a one of those key things that if you just applied this consistently, you could completely transform your life.